talking about Jan Morris's memoir, which is entitled Conundrum. What I really want to focus on for this vlog, though, is the significance of the title. Now, it's important to note about the title that it's not just like one of those titles where you see it and you never see it again in the text. It comes back. She uses the word conundrum over and over again. It's a central theme, this conundrum. But what exactly does conundrum mean? I think all of us, we hear it a lot. People say, I'm in a conundrum. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I know my mom uses it. Like, I'm aware. But I wasn't really sure what the actual meaning of it is. So I looked it up. And the Oxford English Dictionary defines conundrum as any puzzling question or problem. Okay. That makes sense. It makes sense for a memoir about a person's experience as transgender in their life. But that doesn't make sense for Morris, for her to title her memoir that. Because she's not in a conundrum when it comes to her gender identity. So on the title, on the cover page, we can see that these first two sentences of the novel are actually above the word conundrum, which I think is important. But these first two sentences, they state the exact opposite. It says that she knew that she was born as the wrong gender, that she should have been a girl when she was 3. Let that sink in. She knew she should have been a girl when she was 3. And that's an age where most toddlers do not even consciously know what gender is and what it implies. But she knew that she was the wrong gender. That's not a conundrum. So, what exactly is the conundrum? Well, on page 41, she says, I was not to others what I was to myself. Now, maybe the conundrum isn't her inner self and how she sees herself on the inside. Maybe it's how she portrays herself on the outside. Maybe it's how she shows what she shows to the world. So we read the first third, and a lot of what we see in the first third is that she's trying to push herself to fit into these traditionally male roles, to fit these expectations, even though she knows in her heart and her brain and everything that it's not right, that just because she has a penis doesn't mean that she's a girl. She tries to be a soldier, but she never really feels like a soldier. She's a dad. She fits these roles that are stereotypically male. Now, and she says in her book that people are able to notice that there is something off about her identity. So even though this conundrum, she's putting the conundrum is what she's showing to the world, they can still see that it's a conundrum, that she's not, there's something different about her, but they can't really put her finger on it. Another quote that I want to point readers' attention to is on page 9. And it's kind of long, so bear with me. But it says, Freudians and anti-Freudians, socialists and environmentalists, family and friends, intimates and acquaintances, publishers and agents, men of God and men of science, cynics and compassionates, lewds and prudes, all have asked me these questions since then, and very often provided answers too. But for me, it remains a riddle. That's a really big quote, and it's really important. It's only on page 9. These people who she doesn't even know, they're all up in her business about what made her transgender. That's what the question is, like, what was her reasoning to feel like she should have been a girl? And these people, all these different types of people, they focus on that part of her identity more than anything else, and because it's the one that stands out the most, it's the one that makes her different. Maybe being transgender is a conundrum to a binary society where only 2 genders are deemed accessible, even though it's not even like, it doesn't make sense to be a binary society because we know that there are more genders. There's intersex, there's gender fluid. It's hard to pin it down to 2 genders because no one can fit 100% on. It's very hard to be 100% girl or 100% boy. It's impossible. And all these people are searching for answers about why she is the way she is and trying to give her a solution to her problem, but there's no problem. It's just a part of her identity. It's just a part of what makes her who she is. So maybe the conundrum the title is referencing, maybe it isn't who she is or how she portrays herself to the world, but the messed up way the world sees the transgender community. And I just want to point our attention back to the definition. It's a puzzling question. Why do people, it's just a part of identity, so why do people treat people that way? It doesn't make sense. It's a conundrum.